So when I was in Vietnam, I was looking around, walking over the bridge, enjoying the scenery, and then there's this girl who got off the bicycle. Now that was strange, right? The lady looked to be older and she was taking her somewhere, and you wouldn't just drop her off at the beginning of the bridge, would you? And then I thought about it, I was like, oh, I think she got off so her mom could make it up the bridge, because their little electric bike probably couldn't power two people up the bridge. And then later I saw kids tugging on a basketball, playing together, enjoying themselves, and it started starting to rain. Little kids wearing t-shirts and shorts, wearing slippers. They look like they're having fun, even though there's not much room to play. It's sort of dangerous on the sidewalks in Vietnam because who knows when a motorbike might come by. Some people would say they're deprived, but I don't think so. I mean, if you think about when I was little, our car had trouble making it over the Grapevine. That's when you drive from LA North, there's this big mountain pass. We would go as slow as trucks, sometimes slower than the trucks, and the big rigs would honk at us because we were going like 20 miles an hour literally. Sometimes our car would overheat. Going on high mountains, we had to turn on the heater, even though it's summer and really hot. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you ask my brothers and I, we would never say we were deprived. Our vacations were different than other families because we couldn't afford to fly somewhere. So my dad would take all the road trips he could. We'd go camping in all the national parks nearby. And it was great. I mean, those are our fondest memories of when we were kids. I think it's funny nowadays what people consider deprivation. My friend was saying that she felt bad for the little kid when she was handing out goodies. Because, the little kids, the parents didn't sign up for the program, so they didn't get the goodies that all the other little kids got. But why should you feel bad for them? Because they don't have anything everybody else has? I think that's a problem with people nowadays. Just because you have everything everybody else has doesn't make you happy. And vice versa, just because you don't have everything else other people have doesn't have to make you unhappy. People may go on fancy trips to Europe, but we have perfectly enjoyable time driving a few hours away, camping, playing in the stream, hiking in the forest, climbing the rocks nearby. Our games when we camped were simple, sometimes just board games like Chinese chess. Now we had a campfire, we made our own fire. We get to put the logs on, collect firewood, roast marshmallows. I even developed a better technique. If you wet the marshmallow with water first, it increases the heat capacity so you can actually get more melted insides before the outside catches on fire. You could also just lick it, that works too, instead of finding a faucet. But it was fun, and it's something that I think my brothers and I all miss, even though a lot of us were much more wealthy than we were as a kid. I think if you think back to memories that some people say are traumatic, like when everybody else got to go to the amusement park and you didn't, I don't know if I would say that's the right word. I remember them distinctly, like when my mom had to discuss with my dad about me going on an end of the year field trip to the nearby Family Fun Center. It was $7, which was, I guess, a lot of money to us. And I was really worried that I couldn't go with all my friends at school. But I don't know if I'd say it's traumatic. I think people nowadays don't appreciate that not having something can be a blessing in disguise. You can make do with less. And a kid playing on the street with a ball made of twine or a plastic bag tied up tightly to fill up with some air is not necessarily having less enjoyment than the child at Disneyland whose parents spent hundreds to get him there. And it's an attitude in life that you can learn early on to carry on later in life. Because there's always going to be people richer than you, stuff you can't do. And is that going to always make you unhappy? Because then you're going to lead a very unhappy life.